So, something that I've been interested in lately is cadence in terms of speaking style, tonality, really kind of the pauses that someone takes when they're presenting, when they're talking. But I want to talk a little bit more specifically. So, I like professional wrestling, I like WWE, and there's some other promotions that I like as well. But WWE is the one that I've stayed the most consistent with throughout my life. And there's a few people that I've noticed lately. For instance, watching Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, watching those two go, watching Randy Orton, and I love it when he points to his head. The voices, I can hear the voices. But CM Punk and Kevin Owens is what I want to talk about for a quick second. So Kevin Owens is great on the mic. He's been great. When he was in Ring of Honor, he was great. And he's been great in NXT and the WWE as well. But CM Punk is legendary, in my personal opinion. It's just my opinion. CM Punk. Okay, this is what I was noticing during their promo on SmackDown. Okay, so Kevin Owens is cooking. He's gone. He's back from injury. He's there to number one contender. He's there to get the title. CM Punk, the way that he talks, he just exudes who he is. It's like Phil and Punk, and Phil being CM Punk's given name, are kind of, it's like the same thing. And John Cena is actually extremely, obviously legendary as well in terms of cutting promos. Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's certainly some figures throughout WWE history who have just been amazing on the microphone. You could even say Hulk Hogan back in his day. Back in the 80s, 90s, when he was kind of carrying the company, of course. Macho Man Randy Savage, he had his own kind of, oh yeah, man, this is a Macho Man, oh yeah. He had his own kind of flavor that he brought to it. So those things are interesting as well. Chris Jericho, of course. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one of my personal favorite wrestlers of all time, Chris Jericho. He's great. He's a great storyteller. His cadence is excellent. It doesn't feel forced when he's talking, but it just feels very natural. And my personal favorite wrestler of all time, Adam Edge Copeland, also known as Cope in AEW. He's just oh man, he's so good. And you can tell that when Adam Copeland's talking, like he's saying what he means. It doesn't come across as rehearsed. It doesn't come across as slow paced. But it's like he's just calling people out. And it's like this is what's going on. This is how I feel in the moment. And CM Punk is just like that as well. Where he's calling folks out and he's like, I'm the best in the world. And he just goes on and on in that moment. Also, another thing that I've noticed that he does, and I noticed this in the promo, was that there were security guards outside, or actually it might have been the producers. I think maybe Davari was there, as well as Kenny Dykstra, some former WWE talent who are now producers, as well as I always want to call him Magnus, but the GM of SmackDown. His name is eluding me at the moment, but Magnus, Mickie James's husband, Nick Aldis. There we go, Nick Aldis. I was sitting here trying to remember Nick Aldis. Okay, former NWA champion. Yes, Nick Aldis, and a couple of referees as well. And while he's cutting the promo with Kevin Owens, he actually mentions, he's like, you stand down. I'm not going to do X, Y, Z. He's like, I'm keeping it cool. And I just thought that was so interesting. And not just that, but there was a moment with him and Kevin Owens where he kind of got in his face. He kind of, and he's like, I wish I could remember the exact wording, but he acknowledged the fact that he was stepping in a little bit closer and getting into his personal space. I thought that was it's just one of those tiny little things that I thought was just very, very interesting. So yes, I've been influenced by professional wrestling and the way that they cut promos as well as a million other things. It's so interesting. But in terms of speaking and you know working a room, if you will, some of my influences definitely stem from the folks that I've seen on the microphone. For gosh, just going back to elementary, maybe even before elementary school. Yeah, yeah. There's just definitely some amazing talents, amazing speakers, and definitely gotta appreciate them. Anyways, just kind of felt like sharing. It's been a while since I've made a video. I've actually been working on my own speaking and trying to minimize the filler words. I know I had some filler words a little bit earlier, particularly when I was trying to remember Nick Aldis's name. But that's something that I'm working on, slowing down a little bit. But I want to work even more. I want to get more natural to the point where I'm kind of talking and I'm going and I know what I'm saying and I'm exuding it. And maybe I'm not pausing as much, but it all still kind of works together. That's going to be the goal. Okay. Just wanted to leave you guys with that. Hope everyone is having a marvelous day, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.